Leading the way on air, online, and on the go. From WLWT, this is Issues.
That was Ellis J. Williams on saxophone. Welcome to Issues. I'm Jan-Michele Lemon Kearney of Sesh Communications and the Cincinnati Herald. We have a lot going on today. We're going to talk to Ellis J. and also another young man from D-Fresh, but a little later we're going to talk to Dr. Lewis B. Lewis IV about heart transplants. We're also going to talk about an upcoming concert to raise money for free camp for children with disabilities. So just a lot going on. But let's start by talking to these two superstars. Ellis J. Williams, excellent job on the saxophone. Thank you so much. And Desmond Tolbert, because there are three Tolberts. There's Desmond, and you're how old?
My brother's Dexter and Denzel. I'm 16.
You're 16, then Dexter's 14, and Denzel is 13.
Yes.
Okay, so wow, you know, I'm really impressed. So you guys have joined together, you've joined forces. Tell us about D-Fresh and, you know, your careers and how you guys got together.
So D-Fresh originally started with me and my two brothers. My parents basically took us to the music store and told us to pick an instrument. So I picked the guitar. Dexter actually chose a guitar, but things didn't work out, so he actually ended up on the piano. Denzel ended up playing the drums. And so we ended up...
So your parents just said pick an instrument?
Yeah, they just told us to go into the store.
And you were like
and
8 or 9 though, right? I mean, it's been a while. Okay.
Yeah. And so we spent a couple years trying to master our instrument, trying to learn different things. And we had wrote our first song. We like figured out that, you know, this song is actually really good. We should probably, you know, keep writing music and see where this goes. And so at years after that, we figured out that we should, you know, make this a band thing, make this professional thing, and so that's when we got started with D-Fresh.
I love that. Ellis J., what about you? And you're 17.
Yes.
So you guys are also young. Okay, and I feel like you've been playing forever because I've seen you play at so many events. I've seen D-Fresh play recently, and you guys are great. Tell us about you. How did you get started?
I started off when I was 9 years old. I had found a soprano sax under my brother's bed.
Really?
And I pulled it out and asked my dad if I could play it. So he took me to my first couple of lessons to see if I really wanted to stay with it. Whoa. And as I went to lesson, I got better and better, and I just stuck with it ever since then.
Wow. I mean, your performance is just, I mean, you walk around and you engage the audience. And I want to say you guys can be hired. The D-Fresh can be hired, right? So is it Ellis J and D-Fresh, or are you all, is it all one group name? How do we say that?
We usually say D-Fresh and Ellis J, but most of the time when you call D Fresh, you have Ellis too.
Okay, all right. So, and there's a number because we want people to know they can hire you guys to play. We've seen you play at the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center, at the Nefertiti Awards last year. You're going to play again this year. You played at the Cincinnati Herald concert. I saw you at Annie Ruth's event. Oh, you got, you know, I've seen you all play at you played at the last NAACP Freedom Fund dinner, which was in 2014 at the Horseshoe Casino. I mean, you guys are everywhere, and you're wonderful. Okay, let's give that phone number. We've got a phone number up on the air because we want people to know they can call you, and you guys are very professional and excellent. Here's the number. Ellis J, give us the number.
513-543-4275.
Okay, one more time.
513-543-4275.
Because we want to make sure people call you to hire your group. Also, you're making a CD. Now, you've made a few, or at least one or two, right, already. I know I've got one, and you all are making one together now, right? Tell us about that.
So this next CD that we're coming out with is called Soul Cincinnati. We named it that because a few years back when the World Choir Games was going on, we were known for the city that sings. So we wrote it as a tribute to Cincinnati, basically.
Wow. Is it coming out soon?
It should be coming out in the next few months.
Okay, so then you will let us know so that we can let people know it's out. Okay, and also I really applaud you guys because you do a lot of free things. You play at churches, you play for Hillcrest Academy. Talk about that. I mean, you give back a lot.
Well, every other Saturday we go to Hillcrest Academy, which is a juvenile facility for boys, and basically we go there so they can have a church service. They really like us a lot, so we go there every other Saturday.
That's fantastic. Now, why is that so important to volunteer your services sometimes?
It can mean a lot, and it can also get us out there a lot more too.
Right.
And like going to the Hillcrest Academy, that can be an influence on the teens there. So
I love that. You guys are giving back. So we want to make sure people hire you all because you are such a great group. I'm excited about Nefertiti coming up June 18th, so I'm just going to promo that because you guys are going to perform. Is there anything coming up before that? Anything coming up in like April or May? You're available then? That means we can call you and book you, right? Okay. So D Fresh. So the three brothers plus Ellis J. The three Tolbert brothers plus Ellis J. Williams. So thank you so much for coming on. You have to come back soon.
Thanks for having us.
Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment. See, it goes so fast. So I have two guests from a wonderful organization that I used to be on the board for, CILO, Center for Independent Living Options. I'd like to welcome Debbie Moorehous, and you are the development director.
Correct.
And Michael Smith, who's the board chair, our fearless leader.
Yes, ma'am.
So welcome both of you.
Thank you.
So we've got, I know there's a camp coming up for children with disabilities, and there's a concert to raise money for that, and I want to talk about that in a minute. But first I want you to just talk about CILO. What does CILO do?
The Center for Independent Living Options is approaching its 40th year of serving the greater Cincinnati, northern Kentucky areas, providing services for people with permanent disabilities and helping them transition into an independent living style. And many of these people have experienced homelessness or they are currently homeless.
Oh, wow. And I was going to say there's so many different programs, and the real key is to be independent. You know, that's in the name, and that's really, I remember being on the board, that was really the emphasis. You know, you're not doing for people, you're helping people do for themselves. And I thought that was so important.
Right. Our core services promote independent living, and we are an independent living center, which is a model that there's over 400 in the United States. We are the oldest one in the state of Ohio.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, great. So now, Michael, tell us about this camp that's coming up.
The actual camp, well, the concert, which is a concert for campers, is April the 2nd at 8 o'clock. It'll be at the Woodward Theater located on Main Street in the heart of OTR.
Oh, okay.
So that night we'll have raffles, split the pot, and the entertainment will be the Soul Pocket Band.
I love them. You know what? That is a band. They are so good. They've played, I've been to several events. You cannot sit down. I mean, I defy anyone to sit down while Soul Pockets is playing. You will be on your feet.
Exactly.
I mean, it's really, yeah, they're great.
They're an awesome band. They're probably Cincinnati's premier party band. So they have a great following, so we hope that's going to help us.
They're really like
raise some tickets.
Motown-esque, aren't
Yes,
they? I mean,
yes,
they play a lot of
yes.
Motown music.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us how to get tickets for this.
Well, tickets are online at Concert for Campers. They're $25 before the event, $30 the night of the event. We also have 3 donor levels at 100, 250, and 500, which gives folks the access to our VIP reception before the concert.
Nice.
So with that, you will get tickets for entry and also raffle tickets for that particular night. And it's actually held, the reception will be held at Art Beyond Boundaries, our social enterprise, which is a couple of doors down from the Woodward Theater. So the Woodward Theater has done just a brand new renovation. It's an awesome site to have. It's in OTR, which is a lot of excitement there. So we're hoping.
I mean, OTR is like such a fun place to hang out. I should tell you, just let me mention, it's 1404 Main Street, so it must be near the corner of 14th and Main, obviously.
Yes, yes. So we're hoping folks can come out, dance, win some prizes, and help us raise money to send some kids to camp.
Yeah, let's talk about the camp. Tell us about the camp,
Our camp is part of our youth transition program, and it's a summer enrichment camp for youth with disabilities who would generally not have another opportunity to be participating in a summer camp. We provide a safe and secure environment for them. We give them the supports they need, but we also expose them to some of the transitions into adulthood, such as employment and self-sufficiency. And over the 8-week course, it's a very fun camp, but we hide those very important skills in there too.
And I was going to say, camp is so important for all kids, and it's really nice to have a camp for children who have special needs.
Absolutely.
A safe place where parents can send them. And the thing is, it's free.
Yes, it is.
And that's
why we have this event. It's about $500 per student to attend this 8-week camp. So we need the community to help make that possible.
To help, because a lot of people just can't afford it. So that'll be great.
Exactly.
That'll raise money for them. So now, can parents who are listening now thinking, I want my children at that camp, who's eligible to actually go to this camp?
It's youth 14 years and older. Just with a disability that needs that support during the summer. We're still taking applications, and they can reach us at the number we'll give in just a few minutes.
Okay, let's go ahead and give that number for CILO. And we might have it up on the screen, I don't know, but go ahead.
513-241-2600.
And tell us one more time.
513-241-2600.
And that's for CILO. Oh, now it's coming up. Okay. Oh, and here's information. Michael, why don't you summarize the concert for campers that we have on the screen?
Again, it's Saturday, April 2nd at 8 o'clock. It's located at the Woodward Theater at 1404 Main Street. Tickets are $25 before the event and $30 that night.
And to get tickets, they call 513-241-2600.
Yes, or they can go to the woodwardtheater.com and just scroll down and click on Concert for Campers and purchase.
Okay, now to find out more about CILO, is there a website?
We do have a website. It is www.cilo.net.
Okay, and we will make sure that we connect through WLWT.com to CILO.net. So, and I was going to say too, for people who are thinking, I really could use some services, education, independent living, is it all right for anyone just to call and get more information?
Certainly.
And they would still call that same 241-2600.
That's our main number, and that we can connect you with our Kentucky office as well as our Ohio office with that main number.
Okay, and I just want to emphasize, I know we're talking about Concert for Campers for youth, but CILO really services all ages.
Yes, all ages and all types of disabilities.
Okay, and that's wonderful, and really helps people live independently, live full independent lives, and that is just wonderful. So we want to make sure people support that Concert for Campers, April 2nd.
April 2nd at 8 o'clock at the Woodward Theater.
At the Woodward Theater with Soul Pockets. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And that's just great. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing this information. It's up on the screen again. And so I guess, Michael, why don't you summarize it one more time just to make sure.
Again, the event is Concert for Campers. It's Saturday, April 2nd at 8 o'clock at the Woodward Theater, located at 1404 Main Street in OTR. Tickets are $25 beforehand and $30 that night. And again, Soul Pocket to be the band.
So we want people to come out, have a good time, dance, party, and then support this camp. Okay, and the people who want information, call 513-241-2600. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very
Michael.
much.
Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Stick with us. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to talk to Dr. Lewis about heart transplants. Stick with us. Some really exciting things in medicine are going on here in Cincinnati at UC Health, and we're talking now with Dr. Lewis B. Lewis IV. Yes, that's his name, Dr. Lewis B. Lewis. And we're so excited about having you on to talk about heart transplants. So welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, Jen.
It's a pleasure to have you. So can we go back for a second? How did you get into medicine and specifically the area of heart transplants?
Actually, it's a funny story. I come from a long line of lawyers.
Really?
My father was a lawyer, and I always thought I'd be a lawyer, but he convinced me to follow around a doctor in my hometown. And from day one, I said, this is what I have to do. And the first time I ever walked into an operating room, I said, I have to be a surgeon. And the first time I ever saw open heart surgery, I said, I have to be a heart surgeon.
Wow.
And the first time I ever saw a heart transplant, I said, this is what I need to do.
Wow. So now you've done how many heart transplants?
Well, in Cincinnati now we've done 3. I've done several dozen in my career.
Right.
It's a new program that we have at the University of Cincinnati, something that hasn't been offered in Cincinnati for a long time.
Wow. So this is really exciting. So for someone who needs a heart transplant, how do we know who's a good candidate for that?
Well, there's a long. Obviously, working someone up for a heart transplant takes it's a long process of determining who's a good candidate. The reason being, if you're not a good candidate for a heart transplant, it means you don't want one because you're not going to do well with it. But really, patients with advanced heart failure are people that we consider for heart transplantation. Advanced heart failure is a terrible diagnosis. In fact, it's a diagnosis that carries a worse prognosis than every other cancer, than pancreatic cancer. So it's one of the most rapidly growing problems in the United States. And it's a problem that at the apex of its therapy is heart transplantation.
Well, is it a growing problem because of genetics or because of our diet? Why is this a growing problem?
Well, like anything, the biggest problem in the United States is we have people that are at risk for heart disease. Risk factors for heart disease include being a male, having a family history of coronary artery disease, being a smoker. Smoking is the single worst thing that you can do to your body. High cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, stressful environment. These are all
the things we hear about every day with so many people. Yeah.
And we have more and more people that are becoming that have more and more risk factors. And in Cincinnati, we are at the epicenter of an epidemic of obesity that is going across America. And if you overlay the maps of where heart failure is in the United States and where obesity is in the United States, you see Cincinnati is really ground zero.
Really? Oh, that's horrible. That's terrible news. Mm-hmm. So that's something we can do something about.
Well, the treatment of heart failure involves, as I talk about it, heart transplantation being an apex strategy. It's an apex of a pyramid of therapeutic interventions where it involves diet, exercise, stop smoking campaigns. Just by public health measures, we can improve the number of people that are diagnosed with heart failure. Once you start developing heart failure, there are certain medications you take, there are lifestyle choices you take, developing a healthy lifestyle, but eventually heart failure will progress, and you have higher end things such as surgery for heart failure, mitral valve repair. You have at the apex, then you have the subspecialty stuff, the advanced therapies for heart failure that we do at the University of Cincinnati, which involves mechanical circulatory support, your artificial hearts, and heart transplantation.
Now I want to ask you about that. So because Diana Lara, who was so nice to send us all this information, gave us the story of Mr. David Waits, and I think he's going to come on in several weeks when he's feeling better. But he had a heart transplant, but he had a mechanical heart before.
That's correct.
So what's the difference? I mean,
so the problem is, as we talked about at the beginning, you need to be a good candidate for heart transplantation. Now, David dropped dead at home. And we were able through.
And this was in 2014.
This was in 2014.
So everybody, he's alive and well and doing great.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
But he presented, his first problem was he died. And he was resuscitated through fire rescue. He's brought to Bethesda North Hospital, where my colleague and friend, Dr. Eric Oakham, placed him on a short-term artificial circulatory support. We then transferred him down to the University of Cincinnati, where we tried to recover his heart. When we realized his heart function would not recover, we implanted what's called a left ventricular assist device, a heart pump that artificially supports his circulation and does the work for the failing ventricle.
And kept him alive.
And this allowed him to leave the hospital and allowed him to recover. Now, he developed some complications on this device because there's no pump that's better engineered than the human heart for pumping blood through the
Right.
through the circulatory system. But so eventually we realized that heart transplantation then would be a viable option for David, and
So he was put on the waiting
he was
list.
put on a waiting list, and eventually found a suitable donor for him, and we transplanted him and removed the artificial heart, and now he's back to living a normal life.
Yeah, I know his wife. I made the comment that at one point he couldn't get out of bed, and now he's up walking around. And it's just, it's really a miracle.
Well, it's the fascinating thing about cardiac surgery and heart transplantation. The thing that's really amazing is it's a mechanical solution for a mechanical problem. These patients have a problem. Their pump doesn't work, and so we do everything we can to help that pump better. And when we can't, we replace the pump.
Wow. Well, there's so much more we can talk about. You'll have to come back, Dr. Lewis. But I just think the fact that UC Health is doing this and offering this option, this life-saving option, is just phenomenal. So thank you so much. Jeff said there's a number that we have. So let's see, is this a number for the cardiac department? Let's see if it's going to come up on the screen. Here it is. Oh, for UC Health.
This is the heart failure clinic. This is most patients are referred for heart transplant or advanced therapies for heart transplantation by their own physicians. But it's 584-7217.
And Dr. Lewis, tell us that number one more time.
584-7217.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. This is really great information.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment. We've got to Michael Bobo with some calendar events.
Well, first up we have Lighting the Way Scholarship Fundraiser and Gala, Sunday, April 10th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Prime 47 Steakhouse, located at 580 Walnut Street. RSVP by March 31st. For more information, call 513-772-KIDS. That's 772-5437, extension number 2. Next is Then, Now, Tomorrow, a public health issue. April 14th through April 16th at New Prospect Baptist Church, 1580 Summit Road. And last, we have Miss Black Teen Cincinnati Pageant 2016, Saturday, April 23rd at 2 p.m., also at New Prospect Baptist Church, located at 1580 Summit Road. Admission is $10. For more information, call 241-6060 or 368-8108.
I really want you to come to Miss Black Teen Cincinnati. Curtis Fuller and I will be the MCs, so we are really excited. We had a great time last year. Naila Edwards will be giving her crown to the new Miss Black Teen Cincinnati. So you have a great week. Stay safe and stay positive.